Good morning, students. So today we are going to finish the chapter number 2, that is fractions and decimals. And today we will briefly discuss all the points that we have covered in the decimal portion of this chapter. So let's start our class for today. So basically, what are decimals? Decimal numbers are those numbers in which a decimal point is present, and it divides a number into two parts. The number before the decimal point is known as the whole part, and numbers after the decimal point are known as decimal part. Okay, so basically, a number in which a point or decimal is present is known as a decimal number, and it is separated in two parts: whole part, which is before the decimal point, and decimal part, which is after the decimal point, right? Okay, so how do we write decimal numbers if we want to write them in the form, in expanded form? So first of all, we should know the place values and place name of decimal numbers. Here you can see this is a decimal point. Okay, this portion is whole part and this portion is decimal part. So whole part place name is same that we have studied till now in whole numbers. This one is ones, this one is tens, hundred, thousand, 10,000, and so on. But how do we give name to numbers after decimal point? That means after this decimal point, this place name is tenth place. This is tenth place, TENTHS. Okay, this is hundredth place, this is thousandth place, and 10,000. So you can see the difference here. It started from ones, tens, and so on, and here S will be there, and here it starts from tenth, TH. In every place name you are having TH at the end: hundred, tens, hundreds, thousand, and so on. Similarly, here the place value of this place is 1, this place value is 10, this has 100 as its place value. But after decimal point, this 10th place has 1 upon 10 as its place value. 9 has 1 upon 100 as its place value, and this has 1 upon 1000 as its place value. Okay, so every time you go in the right direction of a number, each place value is 10 times smaller than the previous one, and as you move in the left side in decimal number, each place value is 10 times bigger than the previous one. I hope it is clear to you. We have studied decimal fractions in fraction part, those fractions which are having denominator as 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, and so on. So all those decimal fractions are called decimal numbers only. Okay. So there are two types of decimal numbers: one like decimals, another one unlike decimals. Like decimals are those decimals in which you are having equal number of digits after decimal point. Here you can see you are having 2 digits after decimal point. Here also you are having 2 digits after decimal point. Here also you are having 2 digits after decimal point. So all of these are like decimals. Unlike decimals are those in which number of digits after decimal point is different. So if we talk about both of these numbers, this is having 2 digits after decimal point and this is having 3 digits after decimal point. So both of them are unlike. Similarly, if I talk about this 87.84 and 76.319, both are unlike because both are having different number of digits after decimal point. But both of these are like decimals because this is also having 3 digits after decimal point and this is also having 3 digits after decimal point. I hope it is clear to you. And one more thing, whenever we write a name of a decimal number, we will write it as 87.84. that means the digits after decimal point we will pronounce them individually. Okay, this will be written as 203.111. Okay, let's move on. How do we add and subtract decimal numbers? This is very easy. only one rule is there. You have to put the decimal point below the decimal point of another number. For example, if I want to add both of these decimal numbers, so you should arrange them in such a way that decimal point of this number should be aligned with decimal point of this number, just below each other. Okay, so here I am writing this number and decimal point of another number should be just below it. Okay, so this alignment is the main thing in addition and subtraction, otherwise its addition and subtraction is same. Here I can add them, and in place of decimal point you have to put decimal point in answer also, right? In subtraction also you have to do the same. But what about if you are having one number as whole number and another one as decimal number? Each whole number can be written as decimal number. Each whole number can be written as decimal number. How? Whenever no decimal is present in whole number, that means it is at the end of the digit. So this 77 can be written as 77.00. Because here no decimal is present, that means decimal is at the end. And to make them like decimals before adding, I have to put two zeros because this number is having two digits after the decimal point. Now you can align them again. Below the decimal point there should be another decimal point, and then you have to subtract. In case of subtraction, you should keep in mind order matters. So you have to see from which number you are subtracting which one. That is important. Okay. Next is, how do we multiply? In multiplication you are having cases. You basically are having two cases. So you multiply two decimal numbers similarly as you multiply normal whole numbers. But first of all you have to ignore the decimal points. For example, if I am if I am multiplying 2.7 and 3.7, so I have to ignore their decimal points for a minute. 2.7 I can write 27 and 3.7 I can write it as 37. Then multiply them as normal numbers, and after that, after you have multiplied them correctly, then you have to put the decimal point in the answer, right? When you multiply them correctly, you can put the decimal point in the answer. And how do you do that? You can easily do that by counting the number of digits after decimal point in each case. For example, if you are having 2.7, so in 2.7 you know after point you are having only one digit, and in 3.7 also after decimal point you are having one digit, right? So as you can see here, if I multiply 2.7 with 3.7, so first of all you have to ignore the decimal. 27 into 37 will be equals to 999. Okay, now in answer you have to put the decimal point. Here you can see after decimal point you are having one digit, and here also after decimal point you are having one digit. So total number of digit after decimal point should be how much? 2. So from right I will leave two digits in answer and I will put decimal point here. So answer of 2.7 into 3.7 will be 9.99. Okay. Next is case 2. When you multiply number with either 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh and so on. In that case, you only have to shift the decimal point given in your question. No need to change the digits, because whenever you multiply with such numbers, you will also get you will always get the same digits in answer. The only difference would be the place of decimal point. So what we will do here, for example, here is one question. If you have to multiply this number with 10, so you only have to shift the decimal point. Whenever we multiply with such numbers, we shift the decimal point as many number of times as there are zeros. Okay, so as you can see here, it is 10 is having only one zero, so you will shift this decimal point only one time. In which direction? In right direction. Okay, so whenever you multiply, every time you will shift the decimal point in right direction. If I multiply 3.15 with 10, so it is 3.15, so it will become 31.5. Digits remain same, just value changes. Okay, so if you want to divide, that we will study further, but I will just explaining you the difference over here. In case of multiplication, we shift the decimal point to the right, but in case of division, we shift the decimal point to the left. My number is 3.15. If you have to divide this number with 10, now in case of division, you shift the decimal point to the left, so this will become 0.315. Okay, you got the difference. In case of multiplication with 10, 100,000 and so on, you have to shift the decimal point to the right, but in case of division, you have to shift to the left. This is the basic division. If there are two zeros, you have to shift two times. So that's why here we are shifting two times. If you are having 3 0, you have to shift three times. And in case of division also, whenever you are dividing the 10, 100,000, you have to shift to the left in case of division. But that many number of times, that many zeros are there. Okay. Okay. Division is basically, there are three cases in division. First, if you want to divide any number with 10, 100,000, so on, I have already explained it to you. You have to shift the decimal point to the which direction you have to shift. You have to shift it in left direction. Okay, as many number of times as there are zeros. So here you are having two zeros, so you shift this decimal point two times to the left. But if this would be the case of multiplication, if you have to multiply 87.6, you have to multiply with 100, then you have to shift the decimal point in which direction? To the right. And how many times? Two times again. So this will become 8760. I hope you get the difference. In case of division, shift left side, and in case of multiplication, shift right side. And count the zeros, and that many number of times you have to shift the decimal point. Okay, when you are multiplying or dividing with 10, 100,000, 10,000, such numbers. Okay, next case second is when you have to divide a decimal number with a whole number. In that case, in and whole number, you cannot divide any number with 0 because it will give the answer as not defined. So except 0, you can divide with every number, right? So I can say natural numbers. So when you have to divide a decimal number with a natural number, then in that case what you do, you just do the division normally. Here you can see I have to divide this decimal number with 2. So 7 goes 3 times, it will be 6 here. You subtract this, you will get 1, then 3 will be noted, 13 will be there. 13, nearest to 13 you get 12 in the table of 2. 6 times it will go, again 1. Now here when you solve both of these numbers, after that you have point. So So when point comes in dividend, you have to put decimal point in quotient also. This is the only catch when you divide a number, decimal number, with another natural number, right? So here, just when you got decimal in dividend, you have to put the decimal point in quotient as well. After that, you can note down this number 5 here. Okay, only after putting decimal point here you can note down this number, and then so keep going on as you do the division. Okay, and when you have to divide a decimal number with another decimal number, in that case you have to convert the divisor by number which you are dividing the dividend. You have to convert that number into a whole number first. This is the only thing. Once it become a whole number, then you can do the division as you have done in case 2. Okay, so how can I make this divisor a whole number? By shifting the decimal point to the right. If I shift the decimal point to the right side, it is 1.4. So if I shift this decimal point to the right side, this will become what? 14. This is a natural number. How can I shift this? By multiplying this with 10, because I only have to shift the decimal point once to the right. By multiplying with 10, I can shift this one time to the right. So I have to multiply dividend also with 10. In that scenario, when I divide this with, multiply this with 10 and multiply this with 10, it will become 14, and this will become, again the point will be shifted to the right one time. It will become 36.4. Now you can divide them easily as you do the division in case 2. Okay, whenever decimal point comes in dividend, you have to put in quotient also. I hope it is clear to you all.